All right, and away we go. First thing I got to check is whether or not I'm following Donnell Rawlings on Twitter. What's up, JB? Goisermas, nice to see you guys. I'm pretty sure I'm already following him. I just want to make sure. Before I forget. Let's see. Donnell Rawlings. Oh, shit. I'm not following him. How am I not following this dude? I love this guy. Anyway, I just got booked by him. Any of you guys know Donnell? Fucking great comedian. And so I'm pretty excited, man. I like this dude a lot.
Stealing, this is how you remind me. Well, I'm not Nickelback, I'm Nickel Black, and I'm coming to the first annual Great Outdoor Show in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm probably doing them in the wrong order, but you know what I'm talking about. August the 13th, myself, David Spade, and Nikki David Spade and Nikki Glazer about to turn up in Alberta. Canada, open your borders. I'm back. I need the money. I'm broke, bitch. Get your tickets now.
All right, so there he is. You don't know? How do you not know Donnell Rawlings? Yeah, man, he's a famous comic. And I'm happy because it just seems like shit's picking up. I've got a gig. I got a lot of gigs coming up. I gotta fix my calendar on my website. It's not showing anything. But yeah, man, Jimmy Schubert, my boy Jimmy Schubert, one of my favorite people on the planet. He's friends with Donnell. Donnell needed a magician for an event, and boom, there I am. So that was pretty cool. What is this? Here's my sensei. Everyone plays this as a gift, but amidst the context, Alex Jones completely lost on Eddie Bravo over the full-term baby organ harvesting program. So there's my man, Eddie Bravo. I'll be seeing him in a couple of hours. Let's see what, let's watch this clip. Let's see what's going on here.
Do you really think there's people out there campaigning for late-term abortions? You think that shit's real?
Okay, I just want to say right now, Eddie is saying that sarcastically. And a lot of people miss that. A lot of people don't get that he's going, you really think that? It'd be like if I said, wait a minute. You want me to believe that our government has started wars for no reason? That's what you want me to believe. You want me to believe that? You want me to believe, like, I don't know, that we went into Vietnam for no reason under a lie or weapons of mass destruction? You think people are lying about that? Come on. You think of course there was WMDs. We never found them, but of course they were there. Why? Do you think the government would lie about that? See, he's being completely sarcastic, and it gets missed here.
You think that shit's real?
Monday to keep it legal.
Who would do that? Who would do that? Who would campaign for? That's the most.
Fucking did it,
That's
Bravo.
the craziest shit ever.
You can't fucking admit they're fucking killing already born kids. So you're telling me it isn't real when they had a fucking vote in the goddamn fucking Senate?
That's a conspiracy theory.
I am ready to beat your
That's a
fucking ass.
conspiracy theory.
You think you're fucking tough? You're about to get.
You really think? Do you?
See that? He goes, yes. He goes, that's a conspiracy theory. That theory, that's Eddie being funny. And a lot of people just did not get it. See, and Ian Miles Cheong apparently doesn't get it. Because this is not a conspiracy theory. I don't even know what they're talking about. I should point that out. I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm only commenting on it because it's my boy Eddie Bravo. And I see Eddie Bravo on Twitter. I'm going to click on it. But Ian Miles Cheong doesn't realize, I don't think, that Eddie was being sarcastic. Let's see. He admitted to Congress he was an actor. Okay, so now it's just argument. Eddie Bravo, every person that is a federal employee needs to be... Eddie Bravo knew it was real too. He just was fucking with Alex, and I don't think Alex sensed the sarcasm. Exactly. Winner, chicken dinner. That's exactly what happened. Alex Jones... watching Alex Jones, I feel like killing kids, which I wouldn't do ever. That's funny. All right, we're not here to talk about Alex Jones or abortion or whatever else. I just saw Eddie Bravo and was like, what's that? I do want to look at this, though, because this is out of L.A. This is somebody...
Police say they have seized the car that you see in this photo.
Oh, she's
the
hot.
picture went viral on social media.
Look
It
at that
shows a woman
side boob.
hanging out the window of a car holding an AK-47 during what police called an illegal exhibition of speed event. This incident is still under investigation so far. No mention of any arrests in this case.
I want her to... I want to bang her while I hold a loaded AK to her head. Yeah, you like this shit? I remember in The Sopranos, when that, what was it? DiPrio, what was it, that character's name? The fucking psycho on The Sopranos that dated the annoying sister. Oh my God, the woman that played Tony Soprano's sister, that character and everything, because I'm sure she's a nice woman, but holy shit, did she embody just a certain personality that I've had to deal with in my life, where I was just like, oh my God, she's too good. She's too good of an actor, because I know this person. I know more than one person like this. But what was that character's name? That was it Janet, Tony's sister, and she dated the psychopath, the total sociopath. Sociopath, whatever. And he would hold a gun to her head while he fucked her. Anyway, so let's hit this thing. I'm still drinking the beetroot juice. My blood pressure today was, hold on, what was it? 140 over 87, and my pulse, my resting heartbeat was 52. So my pulse is always good. It's always below 60, which is good. The 140 over 87 ain't so good. I need to be 120 over 80. I think it is an improvement, though, because I think on average I've been at like 147 over like 88. So this is an improvement. I've lost 11 pounds. So the fattest I've ever been in my life was 185. And honestly, people didn't even call me fat. They're like, you look good. I'm like, by your standards. My normal walking around weight's 165. The last time I competed in jiu-jitsu, I was 155. Last night, I said to my friends, I said, yeah, I want to walk around at 155. They thought for me that was a little much. They're like, if you want to walk around at 65, and they're like, if you're going to do a tournament, same day weigh-ins, don't cut any weight. If it's day before, then fine, drop a few. But I don't know, man. I think I can walk around at 155. I really do. I think 155 is a good weight for me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my body dysmorphic. I will say today though. Oh, so I weighed last night when I weighed myself. I weighed 170. So I went from 185 at the height of the pandemic and my shitty behavior. And when I went to the doctor about a month or 4 to 6 weeks ago, I forget exactly how long ago it was. I was 181, and now I am 170. So lose another 5 pounds. That'll put me at my normal walking around weight of 165. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm just going to see how it keeps going. But I might have to be on some kind of high blood pressure shit. It just might be a genetic thing. I don't know. But I'd like to, if I could get it down to, fucking 127. Got like 13 points to go. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when I keep losing weight, keep exercising, keep eating right. The thing that's made eating right so easy, I mean, I've never had much of a problem with it. If I put my mind to it, I ate right. But like, I did this program called Body for Life. And when I did it, I followed the program exact, and I was doing jiu-jitsu. So I was working out twice a day. And after I finished the program, I didn't immediately, then I did a different program, Athlean X, which I think is, it's a more modern and better program. But I just did Body for Life because it was old school, and I had it and I was familiar with it. But Athlean X was a better program. Then I did Athlean X for several months. But then I cut back from doing 2 workouts a day. I'm like, this is nuts. I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not a model. I don't need to be working out twice a day. So I do want to get back to some strength and conditioning on maybe 2 days a week. Maybe do like Fridays strength training, Saturdays cardio, and then take Sundays off. Jiu-jitsu Monday through Thursday, strength Friday, cardio Saturday, Sundays off. That's what I'm thinking. And but when I did the Body for Life thing, I ate so blandly. Like, I would take a piece of chicken and shove it in the oven, bake it, take it out, and eat it. That was it. I didn't put any seasoning on it, no salt or maybe some pepper. Maybe when I'm eating it, maybe I would dip it in something like Tabasco or some shit. But I mean, it was basically just a baked piece of chicken and vegetables and yogurt. And every meal was basically that. It was like, well, which is what you're supposed to have, by the way, a protein, a carb, and vegetables. Now, vegetables are carbs, so you could just do vegetables twice, But like, divide your plate into thirds. You could have your filet mignon as 1/3, some mixed steamed veggies as another third, and yogurt as a third, or a baked potato, or a sweet potato, or maybe some fruit, right? Those were my carbs of choice. Fruit, baked sweet potato, and yogurt. But now I'm still eating that way, but I'm going to the trouble of actually making this stuff good. So I'm finding, like, I've told you, I got this great cookbook from Rocco DiSpirito called, I think it's called, it's called Now Eat This, and it's healthy versions of comfort foods. So he's got like a healthy macaroni and cheese, a healthy onion rings, healthy chocolate chip cookies, or healthy spaghetti and meatballs. And so he only has one salmon recipe, which I've made many, many times. Got a little burnt out on it because I made it so much. So I got a salmon fillet in my fridge. I think that's what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. Some salmon, mixed veggies, and yogurt. I just don't know which salmon recipe I'm going to go with. I'm curious if this is that video with that hot chick with the AK-47. Does anybody else notice that she was hot, or the side boob? And two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, poor decision making. She was labeled a passenger, not a suspect. Man, I can't believe I'm the only one. All right, I'm just gonna, since no one else said it, I'm gonna say it. How about that? She's hot. I like her side boob. I'd like to have sex with her while she holds me at gunpoint. Oh, she fucking hit the keyboard. Look at that. Damn it. All right. She's hot. I like her side boob. I'd like to have sex with her while she holds me at gunpoint. It's kind of like a haiku. There's a little bit like a haiku. So there you go. This is day 4 of the week, right? It's Thursday. I screwed up again. I did not do any show prep. But why do you need show prep if you're just going to be in the here and now? I'm still drinking the beetroot juice. It's still making my pee and poop red. It was a beautiful shade of red today when I took a dump. It was really nice. It did not look like a miscarriage. It looked like this is a person that juices. Never big into juicing, but beetroot juice is my jam. Well, I have 6 bottles of it. Each bottle is 4 servings. It was like $50 for the case. So I'm just I don't know if this is going to be something I keep doing. But for now, it's going to be something I do until I run out of the shit. I'm going to drink the beet juice until I run out, and then I'll decide what to do. I really do feel like it's helping me. Today, I woke up, I had some water and a cup of beetroot juice. And I was like, I'm going to treat myself today. I'm going to go get myself a chocolate muffin from the little store. So I go to the little store, and I got a cold brew coffee, cold brew iced coffee. And by the time I got there, I was like, I don't want the muffin anymore. I think the beetroot juice just kind of filled me up and made it so I was like, I just wasn't that hungry. I wasn't craving it. I'm like, this is so weird. I was craving a chocolate muffin since I went to bed last night. And I was even going to when I woke up, I'm like, oh man, got to start the day, but you get a chocolate muffin. And then when I got there, I was like, I don't want it anymore. It's very strange. I went to bed last night at 2 in.the.morning, which is my goal time. My goal time is to go to bed at 2 under a normal night. If I'm working or something, I might, go to bed 3 or 4. But when just on a regular night, it's like, come on, let's go to bed at 2, get 8 hours in and wake up at 10. And it kind of, but I never set an alarm. It just happens or it doesn't. And usually I stay up past 3 o'clock anyway because I start dicking around with something, a magic trick or a whatever. But this time, I actually didn't stay up till like 3:30, 3 or 3:30. I was like, it's 2 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I don't know what happened, but when I got in bed, I suddenly wasn't as tired. But then I dozed off. Then I had a nightmare that woke me up. And I went back to sleep. And it was one of those nights where I just didn't sleep well. It was weird. That's not the usual for me. The having the same recurring nightmare that I've had for years, that's normal. I'm used to the recurring nightmare and biting my tongue in my sleep. Those two things I've done so long now. I hate it, but I'm used to it. I'm like, all right, it's just what it is, you know? But what's not usual is for me to just feel like when I woke up that I'd woken up a lot in the night and I didn't sleep well. And couldn't really figure out why that happened. But I was like, well, I went to bed at 2, so I wonder what time it is, you know? I can't imagine it's much past 10 o'clock. Then I look at the fucking clock. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I was in bed for like almost 12 hours. So, shot my whole day to hell. Didn't get nearly the things done what I wanted to, but I've gotten a lot done lately. And look, I booked a gig. Got some other gigs in the works. It's all cool. So, I apologize. What was all that about? That was my rapper gang busted. The whole point of all of that was a long-winded excuse as to why I didn't do any show prep. Where's my babes? What up, Muay Thai? Where you been, man? How you doing? I don't know where anybody is. It's Thursday. I feel like I had a great audience for the show yesterday. Great response. But you know what? I guess they can't all be like that. Yesterday was then, now is now. And worrying about what I've done the first 30 minutes of this show, that's silly. We're just here in the moment, in the now. So if you have something you want to talk about, questions, comments, suggestions, let me know. But I did wake up today looking in the mirror going, fuck yeah, Waldman, you look good. What I hate is if I'm wearing underwear and I feel like there's fat on my sides, you know, like love handles, even if they're tiny. I want there to be nothing. Now, if I squeeze my belt tight, you're always going to squish something out. But if I'm wearing underwear and I'm not being squeezed by my clothing, I want to look in the mirror and see a straight line. And today was the first day I had that. I'm like, fuck yeah. I feel good, man. I have felt better this week than I have for a long time. I think I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is the best I have felt since the lockdowns. I almost feel, I'm going to even go a step further. I think I almost feel like I did before the Kung flu. I mean, I could get knocked about a little bit. I might go outside and some dystopian event or some dystopian feeling may overtake me. But I don't think so. I think, I don't know. Every day, a little bit closer to becoming enlightened. You know, there's an interesting thing. You know, some spiritual guides, they don't like meditation at all because the very act of meditating implies a non-duality, meaning that you're trying to get someplace else. But then there's this other way of thinking that meditation is a good practice to get you to realize that. And today's the first day I've really felt that. Like, there's nothing to look for. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to try to do. It's here, and that's it. And I don't know. It's crazy because in the last week, I really feel like I've leveled up in terms of mindfulness a lot. Like, it's crazy, though. Like, if I had had just one of these epiphanies this week, I would have been like, that's pretty great. But I've had several. That's a weird thing, too, right? Because, like, when you exist as space for everything and you simply observe it, then there's no good or bad. It's just stuff. Labeling it is something that your ego does. It's a signpost, as Eckhart Tolle would say, or it's your ego fighting for recognition, to identify something or to identify with something. It's a fascinating time to be alive, my friends. We have access at any time we want to incredible minds of science and medicine and spiritual leaders and physicists, and which is science. But you know what I'm saying? It's, a lot of Ivy school universities, they put their lectures online for free. Like, you can, for free, go online and watch like a Harvard lecture on economics, or a Princeton, and you can watch the whole class. It'll be like, if you wanted to, you could go buy the textbook and watch the video and be like you're in the class and do all the assignments. It's pretty amazing. Hey, Lizzie. Muay Thai was looking for you. Glad to have you here. How are you doing, Lizzie? Any comments, suggestions, questions, things you want to talk about? I didn't do my show prep again, Lizzie. I'm fucking up. But I'll get better. I had a very busy day today, Lizzie. I started very late and got very busy. But anytime I felt myself rushing, like when I was in the shower, like I got to shave faster to go do the podcast. I'm an hour late, shave. I was like, whoa. Is risking cutting your eyeball, which every guy I know pretty much has done that, by the way. You're shaving and you're not paying attention, or you're going too fast, and like you shave your whole lip, or you shave a tooth, like the razor hits your tooth or your eye. You're like, I don't know if I've ever done the eye, but a friend of mine shaved his eyeball. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I've shaved all kinds of things just with a slip. I'm good. Nothing offhand. All right. Not even an offhanded compliment. I thought of you today, Lizzie. I don't. You just popped in my head. You popped in my consciousness, and I had nothing but good thoughts about you. You're a good person. We're gonna have to do that Zach Waldman show trip to Vegas and get all the fans together. All three of you. I was pausing. Every day brings something different. I was pausing because I just wanted to see what would change. How you doing, my hot sugar jalapeno popper? That's fucking funny. Trying to think, but nothing's happening. That's pretty funny, by the way. So Howard Stern's always playing this little drop from the Three Stooges. I think it's Curly, and he's like, I'm trying to think, but nothing's happening. So I was saying that around my nephew. He's 8 years old. I'm trying to think, but nothing's happening. And one night at the Legion Hall, we were playing poker, the American Legion, and I was teaching my little 8-year-old nephew how to play poker. And we're all around the poker table, and there's this woman. We know her. She's a friend, regular at the American Legion, and a friend of my brother's. And she says, and it was like really funny because she kept winning. They were doing like tournament style, and the format was pretty silly in my opinion, but that's how they would do it. And she kept winning or coming in second place or whatever, and she had no idea how to play. And it was like every time it was her turn, we had to explain the whole game to her again. It was like you can call. What does that mean? Okay, it means you match the bet. But I want to put all my chips in. Okay, well, you can raise. What does that mean? It means you can put all your chips in. You know, it's like that kind of thing, right? And so my little nephew, who I'm teaching how to play poker, is catching on much quicker than this woman. And my nephew's been hearing me say, yeah, I'm trying to think, but nothing's happening. But he switches it around and he points at her and says, you're trying to think, but nothing's happening. So instead of like doing it as like a self, defacing thing, what do you call it? The fuck, the word. Instead of like making fun of yourself, I don't know why. You know what? I told you I've cut back on. I haven't smoked any pot now for several days. It's just been on the vape pen, and I barely hit this today. So it's working. Not smoking as much pot is making it so when I smoke, I actually get high, and I get something out of it. A lot of times we'll smoke pot after jiu-jitsu, but no one's had any lately. And so if no one has any, I'm like, cool, that's an excuse to not smoke. If somebody has some, though, I'll take a hit because after doing jiu-jitsu, it really feels good on the body. And it really gets me high because that's the only time I'm smoking. But self-deprecating is what I was trying to say. So instead of being self-deprecating by going, hey, I'm trying to think, but nothing's happening, my little 8-year-old nephew points at her and says, hey, you're trying to think, but nothing's happening. It's the best. Muay Thai must be using the push-pull method of pickup artists. Oof. I haven't even read what he said next, but talk about setting up a setup line. I mean, putting it on a tee, push-pull. All right, I haven't read Muay Thai's response yet. I'm imagining it's going to be something like, you push me away, I'll pull you towards me, if that's what you mean. Something to that effect. Let's see, what did he say? No, I'm using the Jeff Nippard push-pull strength hypertrophy program. Who's Jeff Nippard? I guess he's a trainer. I know Jeff Cavalier. Jeff Cavalier's my guy. Is it Jeff Nippard or Nippard? Push-pull strength how do you say that word? Hypertrophy program? Hypertrophy? Is it hypertrophy or hypertrophy? Hypertrophy sounds right? That's funny. Everything got a price, babes, even poop. Deprecating. Yes, I figured it out, Lizzie. Thank you. Lizzie, Muay Thai wants to pay for your poop. You won't. I have two questions. Well, a question and a suggestion. The first question is, why wouldn't you? If he'll give you like, I don't know, $100 for you to poop in a bag and like, I don't know, shrink, like vacuum seal it and mail it to him, $100 plus shipping and handling and of course the price of the box, the actual box, not your box. Why would you do that? And if not, why? So that is two questions. And then a suggestion. My suggestion is if you do go ahead and do it, I'm drinking beetroot juice twice a day now, and it's making my poop and my pee red, but not in a bad way, in a very fun, festive way, Hawaiian punch-like. So I think you should drink a bunch of beetroot juice and mail him a festive red-hued log or two and charge them $100 plus shipping and handling and packing supplies, the box, the bubble wrap. What do you think, Lizzie? I want to know. The beetroot juice that I drink is 100% organic. It's totally it's totally organic, and it's not. What do you call it? There's nothing added. It's vegan friendly. No GMO. No fucking everything. It's like a vegan wet dream. Oh, you want it in a jar? All right. I was gonna suggest vacuum sealing. Lizzie, how about this? How about we tell him it's yours and I send him mine and we split the cash? That way you didn't do anything. We just use you're the front woman for our selling poop operation. Why don't we just tell and we could sell dirty underwear, all that stuff, and you'll just be the face of it, but I'll send all the stuff. I'll do it all. I'll wear the underwear so it has some kind of scent to it. The whole thing. There's money to be made here, is what I'm saying. That's the point. Lizzie's gotten incredibly quiet.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
$42. Okay. Sorry, I was just checking something. It's never a good sign when I'm checking the time. Like, oh my God, how much longer do I got to do this? Actually, no, I feel great. I haven't eaten yet. 7 o'clock. I'm going to have to make dinner and go to jiu-jitsu. This will be the first time in over a year that I've gone to jiu-jitsu 4 nights in a row. I still have not made it to class on time, but I still have gotten there earlier than Calvin, my pal Calvin. Now, Calvin's a really bad person to compare yourself in terms of tardiness because he's insanely late. So I don't want to compare myself to him. I'm just saying, okay, I did. I compared myself to him. I shouldn't have. I'm going to compare me to me. So for me, going to jiu-jitsu 4 nights in a row, that's a huge improvement. Next week, I'm going to work on getting there on time. And the other thing is, now that I'm using these memory techniques, I want to use the memory techniques I've learned to memorize all of the warm-ups. We have these warm-ups we do, and there's blue belts that know all of them. They get changed, like Eddie changes them quite a bit, like he adds things to them, and so like I knew them all I at one time, and then he changed a few things, and then I was like, fuck, then I forgot shit. It's just, so, I gotta just do it. I gotta use my memory techniques. Using the memory techniques, I should be able to know all the I know all the techniques, by the way. They're like, they're flows is the thing. So like you do, it's like, oh, you do this, he does this, you do this, he does that, then this happens, then that, boom, end of flow. And so I'd be the shit face. Good one, Lizzie.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
And your connection went out? Likely story. How big are the Soul Sisters, Lizzie? Gonna take me a minute to catch up with the lag. All right. No worries. Can't you just refresh and be live with us? Or you mean the lag of the chat, or I don't know. No, it didn't. You were checking poop prices on eBay. Yeah, Muay Thai is $100. in the ballpark. Is that a fair price for her to shit in a jar for you? And will you pay more if she also pees in it? So when you get it, you got a big glass jar of pee and poop, or you want 2 jars? How does this work? I wanted to hear what you said when it went out. Oh, that's funny. I thought maybe we finally horrified you to the point where you're like, I'm just not responding to these 2 cretins. I thought you were just like, you know what? I'm not playing along. There's jokes and then there's jokes, Waldman. Not playing along. So I think I'm going to go with salmon tonight. I'm looking for an excuse to cook everything in my cast iron skillet, but I might do, I like salmon baked. Might do a baked salmon. I've also broiled it on many occasions. No, I know you're chill, but I just thought you had nothing to say to our disgusting. I mean, well, when you didn't answer the question, I was like, she's just disgusted with the question and doesn't want to answer it. But then you came back with shit face, so. Trying to think of shit face. I have any stories about shit face? I had a friend in high school named Chris, and he got drunk on. Hey, what's up, Fischl? I got drunk. We all got drunk, but he got really drunk. Well, okay, that was actually the thing. Now that I say it, he said he got. Okay, hold on. I'm hooking up Fischl here while I'm talking. So sorry, I'm fucking everything up. Here's what happened. We were all drinking, and he was acting like he was really drunk. And we were like, come on, man, you didn't drink that much. You're not fucking drunk. Give it a rest, right? And he was just acting kind of lame, and we were just busting balls. You know, we were in high school. It was our high school prom. We're 17 years old, and so hold on. Here comes Fischl, and boom, and his mic is on. All right, Fischl will be along in a second. And I was like, dude, I don't think you're that drunk. And so we were partying outside. It was at night at a hotel at a pool. There was a swimming pool there. It's nighttime, and we're all just sitting around the pool drinking booze, underage. Actually, this whole story of this prom is... All right, yeah, Should I... Wow, okay. See, this is what I like to have happen in the show, is just by talking, it leads me to something that I wasn't planning on talking about. Fischl, I let you in the Zoom room. I'm not seeing you or hearing you. What up, Drew?
Can you even hear me?
I can hear you now. Can you even hear me?
Fuck.
Can you even
Fuck's
hear
sake.
me? Turn on your video in the bottom there.
Yeah, it's doing something strange.
I thought you were smart.
I'm not
Okay.
smart. I'm just in the wrong fucking room.
For those of you that don't know, Fischl is very fucking smart. There's so much shit I want to talk to him about, but
Oh, for God's sake.
I can't go on a lot longer. But but he's going to be on regularly. Drew, I got so much to talk to you about too. I know you work till 5, Drew. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know how we'll do this because I wanted you in person. Maybe you'll just have. Man, maybe we'll do a special show with you on Fridays or something because I don't go to jiu-jitsu Fridays. Maybe you could come over after work on Fridays to do a Drew cast. But I got a whole Dude, you have no idea. Not anymore? Okay, fuck. That was quick. I thought you got a new job, 9 to 5. So much to talk about, so much to say. I wonder if Official's ever going to show up. All right, so...
this freaking... Oh, God, this piece of shit.
Your audio sounds great.
Well, I mean, I try to do what I can, but for whatever reason...
You could do this any night now? Well, Drew, then come over anytime you want. Okay, we'll talk, but I would love to have you on as much as you're willing to do it, Drew, at 5 o'clock. We'll probably just do it on the couch, maybe. Or maybe I'll do it like I'll stand and have one camera on me and you could sit on the couch or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll have you sit in front of the big TV and like the background will be the big-ass monitor TV. That could be cool. We'll figure it out. A lot of options.
I set up my webcam thing, and it's not letting me.
All right, you
Zoom
work.
is being
You
a
work
pain in
on
the
that.
ass.
You work on your video. I know you can hear me, and your audio is good. So I'm going to start this story from the beginning, and I'll try to leave space for you so that. With the delay that there's room for you to talk because it's a little harder when you can't see me. I mean, when I can't see you. All right, so this is what happened. When I was in high school, went to my senior prom, and I had a girlfriend whom I'd been dating since I was 16. By the time I graduated, I was 18. My birthday's in March. So I turned 18 just, a couple months before graduation. And I wanted my girlfriend's mom was very, very strict all the time. And when she found out that we were going to get a limo and rent a hotel room to party, she wasn't going to let my girlfriend go. She's like, there's no, and my girlfriend and I had gone to my junior prom together, but this was my senior prom, and I was like, your mom is still uptight about this? Like, she knows me. She's got to know I'm banging you at this point. I mean, fuck. Been together 2 years. And she was like, yeah, she said, I can go to the prom with you, but after the prom, I got to go home. And I'm like, yeah, but we're renting a hotel room to party in. We've got a limo. I mean, what am I supposed, so when I'm supposed to like drive you home and then drive back, like a variation of that actually happened the year before, and I didn't want a repeat of that. So I said, like, I was trying to figure out a way around this. And my friend Chris didn't have a date to the prom. My recollection is a girl agreed to go with him, and then might have been a different one of my friends. I don't know. I don't remember what happened, what got fucked up. But he didn't have a date to prom. And my sister is 10 years older than me, but she looks very young. Even now, she's like, she's always looked young. She's looked like she was 12 since she was 12. And
20.
So you got to figure at the time I'm 18, she must have been 28. And I said to her, listen, my girlfriend's mom won't let her hang out, and of course it was an overnight thing. We got a hotel room. We're all going to party there and crash at the hotel. That was the whole plan. And of course we all want to fuck. Everybody wants to fuck his girlfriend, right? So, or try to fuck their prom date, whatever the case may be. And I mean, it's when you're, in high school. Back then, this was like the biggest deal in the world. I mean, now it's kind of funny, but at the time, it was the biggest deal in the world. It's going to be great. We're going to we're graduating. We're going to get shit faced. We're going to fuck. We're going to party. I graduated in '92, so that '80s attitude toward that Animal House Breakfast Club, fucking, that attitude was still prevalent back then. You know what I mean? Thank God. It's like I caught just the end of when things were still fun. And so I said to my sister, I said to my girlfriend, I said, ask your mom if my sister were to go, if as a chaperone, if you could spend the night and party. And she did, and her mom said, that's fine if Zach's sister's going to be there. So then I went to my friend Chris and said, hey, how about my sister goes with you to prom since you don't have a date? And he's like, fuck yeah. My sister was, she's a hot girl. She was a professional belly dancer. She looked young, right? She looked like she could be at a prom. So then I go to my sister and I go, hey, I need you to go to my prom with me. She's like, what? I go, my friend Chris needs a date and I need a chaperone so that my girlfriend can go. And my sister never went to her own prom. She hated high school, I think, and had no interest in prom, didn't give a flying fuck about it. I had a great high school experience, and it was just a different thing. But my mom, I think, was always like bummed that she didn't go. And when this idea came up, my mom was like, this would be great. I could finally get you a prom dress, and, this will be wonderful. My mom thought it was the greatest thing in the world. See you later, Lizzie. You're going to miss the end of the story.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
And so I talked my sister into it. So one of my best friends, Chris, his date to prom was my sister when she was like 28 years old, as an excuse to be a chaperone so I could get drunk and fuck my girlfriend and have her spend the night in the hotel with all my other friends fucking their girlfriends and or dates. So she agreed to do it.
I am really liking your sister more and more
and we
every second.
And it was really funny because we're in the limo and I did something, I'm sure horribly offensive, right at the beginning. And my sister went, Zachary. That's what they always call me when I'm in trouble, right? Zachary. And I looked at her and I said, hey, you're not my sister tonight. This is my prom. You're just another broad in the limo that's partying, all right? Get that straight right now. Tonight, you ain't my sister. She laughed. She was like, fine. I'm looking the other way all night. And she did, to her credit. And so we go to the prom. We go to the hotel. We're all at the pool and dressed up, and we're all getting drunk. And my friend Chris, who was my sister's prom date, is laying on like one of those pool, cot things, the fucking shitty ones from from 1992 with the plastic, the vinyl strips and the, the fuck do you, like a beach chair, a poolside chair. And so I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. And I'm just trying to paint a picture. It was like those shitty ones that you drag around that make a lot of noise, are made out of aluminum foil. And they become like, they heat up, the vinyl on them heats up in the sun to like, temperature of lava, So anyway, he's laying on one of those and he's acting like he's drunk. He's like, and I'm like, Chris, you're not that fucking drunk, man. Like, stop being stop acting. Like, stop acting yourself into drunk. Either don't drink or act normal because you didn't drink that much, or let's get shit-faced. Like, I don't know what you're up to. And we're all goofing on him, right? So we're all kind of, look, we're all ball busters. We're all, these are my best friends. And so I go, Chris, if you don't get up, I'm going to piss all over you. And all my friends are standing there laughing. He doesn't move. I go, all right. I pull my dick out. All the girls that were there all walk away like, oh my God. They all turn away. All my guy friends stay, of course. I piss all over them. And guess who finally got up? He got up and with all of his clothes on, covered in piss, jumped into the swimming pool. and floated around. And and then we started calling him Pisshead. And his name was Chris. So we just call him Piss. Hey, Piss, And we thought that was the funniest thing in the world. And one of my favorite teachers in my high school, who at the time, I forget what her role was, because she did a few different things. I think she taught a class, but then she went, I don't know if she was like, we had a headmaster. I don't know. She might have been head of school. Hey, there he is. I can't remember what her title was, but she walks up to me, and she said, "Zach, I heard something quite disturbing at the party that you guys had. I heard a little thing about your friend Chris and you." She goes, "Please tell me it's not true." And I said, it was. He got up, didn't he? And she just shook her head like, "Oh, I'm glad this kid's graduating." But I graduated with 48 kids. So, and we were very close to our teachers and shit. That's what I'm saying. So when I did that, word got out very quickly. What was that? What do you make? What numbers are you making?
I graduated with 60.
With 60?
60.
60.
I graduated with 60.
Headmaster
and I
is
graduated 59.
Headmaster is a hilarious title. You're right. 60. So you know what it's like, right? I mean, everybody knows everything.
No, they don't. They knew absolutely nothing.
They didn't know.
I fucking hated high school.
Did you? And they didn't know
it was
anything
horrible.
about you? You hid everything?
I am the only Jew that went to a Baptist school in Mississippi. Does that tell you anything?
I fucked up because I'm retarded, and I went to a Baptist college called Florida Southern. Was it Florida Southern University or Florida Southern College? It's up in Lakeland, Florida. Florida Southern College in Lakeland.
I know where. Yeah, Lakeland or Lake City?
What's that?
Lakeland or Lake City?
Lakeland.
Isn't that in Lake City?
Not Lake City, Lakeland.
Oh, no, okay.
And the whole college campus, like a lot of the buildings on that campus, were designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. It's like one of the biggest examples in one place of Frank Lloyd Wright's architecture. And but it's a Baptist, like a Southern Baptist conservative school. And I was only there for, I don't know, a couple of months. I got kicked out for making a phony phone call. Well, many phony phone calls. And being the only Jew there, my friend that made the phony phone calls with me did not get kicked out. I did. That's a whole incredibly other long story. But yeah, that place was not for me. So I could imagine you in a high school like that. My high school was not like that. It was owned by I believe it was Presbyterian Church, I believe, owned it. And the kids at my school, there were a lot of Jews. Even though it was owned by a church, we didn't have the whole time in high school, you were required to take one world religion class, but that was it. There was no none of our textbooks or anything had any religious stuff in them. It wasn't a religious school. What's that?
They're Presbyterian. They don't give a shit.
Drew had 78 in your class, yeah. That's small too, man. I mean, most of the people I know had several hundred in their class, you know.
So is your sister available?
No, she's married to a very famous magician. They met when my mom used to go to magic conventions with me. My mom died, and we had this magic convention coming up, so my sister went with me. And that was a thing my mom and I used to do. And so when she died, my sister took her place at the next one I went to. And there was a magician performing named Eric DeCamps. And my sister, I told my sister, "Oh my God, that's Eric DeCamps." I mean, she remembers the story better than I do. But I think basically I was like, "Holy shit, that guy's awesome." She goes, "Let's go talk to him." And I probably didn't want to. And we went over there, and she was like, hey, this is my little brother thinks you're great. And I think I said something like, dude, you rule, something to the effect. I don't know. I'd have to ask my sister. And they hit it off and ended up getting married. That's the very long story short. But Eric DeCamp's a very you don't know who Eric DeCamps is, but every magician on the planet knows who he is. He's in the world of magicians. He's very well known. Yeah, magician, absolutely. Yeah, magicians love him. Yeah,
He's like the Justin Timberlake of magic, I guess.
that's funny. He's like more like the Steve Vai of magic. Well, Steve Vai's too cool.
Vai of magic.
He's like the Yngwie Malmsteen of magic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, magician's magician for sure. Yeah, he's not a professional. He doesn't do it for a living. He's always had an actual real career and then did magic in addition to it. Although lately he's been performing a lot more.
What does he do other than that?
He's I think he's a project
collector.
manager for construction.
Well, that fits.
He's in the construction industry, and he's like I think he may have some sort of background in engineering, but that's not what he does. I think he predominantly manages, but these are big projects. This is Manhattan. Him and my sister live in Queens, and he was working in Manhattan. I don't know what he's doing lately. I think, funny enough, I think he's doing more magic now than anything else. With COVID and with everything that happened, can't even tell you where he's working at the moment, but I do know he's been performing a lot more, and that's really cool. He's a amazing magician. I'm jealous of my sister because David Copperfield has a museum in Vegas of like just an over-the-top, insane magic museum, and it's private, it's invite only, and David takes you on the tour personally. And
That's because he's a self-serving prick.
no, David Copperfield's the bomb. And he invited my brother-in-law, Eric DeCamps, and he took my sister. So my sister got to go to the David Copperfield Museum, and my sister has been to more magic conventions and has seen more magicians and knows more magicians than I do by being married to him, because especially for the last 20 years, I've construction, New York, Vegas, very Tony Soprano like, and he used to look like Tony Soprano, but he's lost like 100 pounds, so he doesn't look like him anymore. He looks like a deflated Tony Soprano now. It's so funny. I couldn't believe how much weight he lost. Looks like someone put a pin in my brother. I'm like, whoa, my brother-in-law. I'm like, it's crazy when people make that transformation. It's great, but. He
was on that 500-pound life and then decided he was going to go into construction. He was gonna move.
Yeah,
that's great.
But
Could've been famous.
For like the last 20 years, I haven't gone to a lot of magic conventions. My attitude was like, the Magic Castle is like a magic convention that happens every day of the week. But then over the last few years, I realized I want to be more engaged with the community, go to more conventions, and I wasn't taking part in the community very much outside of the Magic Castle, because I'm working, I'm making a living. What am I going to go to a magic convention for? But I realized that it actually inspires me to be around in that environment, and it's fun, see old friends that you haven't seen in a while, or you make friends that you only see at conventions. So in the last...
What do you do at a magic convention? Are there like product displays of magic stuff? Do they have like something new? Like, is it like the tech, one of the tech industries leading things in Vegas? Is that what you do? Or?
Yeah, it's a typical magic convention. I mean, they vary, but a typical one would involve lectures where some famous magician, again, people lecture in different ways, but one way they often do it is they do a 30-minute set, and then they go back and explain the how and why they did everything. And and you hopefully, and then they might sell you the stuff to do it. They might say, all right, let me do this trick for you. And then in the lecture go, okay, to do the trick, you need the following things.
And for $19.99, you can.
Yeah, exactly. And for $20, I can give you'll get a DVD. And instead of having to go to the art supply store to build this shit yourself, it's done for you. That's one example. But there's all kinds of lectures. It could be a lecture on sales and marketing. It could, but related to magic. So there's typically lectures with magicians teaching things. The better strategy for attending a lecture is, for me, I don't usually buy stuff because, that's another weird thing. Like, why am I going to buy anything? It's not mine. I want to make it my own, in some way, figure out a way to make it personal to me, but also I kind of have what I'm doing. I don't need to spend more money on more stuff. But I've had to change an attitude with that too, because I realize that I'm a man child and it's fun to buy toys and it's fun to support creators, and just getting the stuff, playing with it often inspires me to modify it, take it in a different direction, or do something totally unrelated, because it reminds me of it. Just like when I find some weird story that I never would have thought of telling you the story about prom and my sister going to my prom. But something triggered that memory. Oh, it was Lizzie mentioned shitface, and I talked about my friend Chris that I call piss, and then here was the whole story. And so that'll happen if you get a magic trick, you're playing with it, and all of a sudden you're like, this reminds me of this thing I have in my drawer or something I read in a book. I'm going to fucking take this idea, apply it to that. And so I realized that it is fun to buy toys and play with toys, even if you don't actually use them. But the idea of a lecture is to see the theory and the thinking behind what they're doing and take that and apply it to something of your own. That's the idea. So in addition to the lectures, there's also, at a typical magic convention, every evening there's shows. So there's an evening show where you go into a theater and it's like a stage show for the whole audience. So it's magicians performing for magicians, basically. And then there is typically what they call a dealer's room. And the dealer's room is exactly what you were talking about. It's all these different companies, magic manufacturers, inventors. And it could be like anybody. Like I could get, let's say I invented 3 tricks. I could rent a space and demonstrate hey, this is what I came up with, demonstrate them and sell them. And if it becomes like, sometimes a trick will become like, will almost go viral. Like it's something brand new, no one's seen, and everybody loses their mind, and everybody at the convention buys it. You know what I mean? And then they'll talk about it in the magic forums. Hey, I heard such and such effect was the big seller at such and such convention this year. Anybody seen it? Oh yeah, I saw it. Now, but the coolest thing that happens at magic conventions is the shit that happens in between everything, hanging out at the bar and people just hanging out. And usually, like at some weird hour, typically on the last night of the convention, a lot of times the real magic happens. It's kind of like my brother used to play blues at a very famous jazz and blues club in Miami. It's no longer there, but it was a legendary spot. Al Capone, I think, used to own it. It was called Tobacco Road. And they'd always talk about how great the music was all night, but the real shit didn't start until like 4 a.m. It was like when it got to the crazy hour, and then all of a sudden somebody insane would walk in and the music would go, and it would be like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm watching so-and-so. And it's 4:30 in the morning. And again, it's Florida. They're still serving alcohol, all night. And so in New York City could be like that too. Well, like magic conventions that happen, somebody we'll say, hey, you'll be at the bar. There'll be 3 of you. You guys want to see something I've been working on? And they'll do something, and the magician, and you'll go, what the fuck was that? And next thing you know, there's a buzz created about it, and people are going, I heard that so-and-so did something. What was it? Oh, well, I know I'm friends with so-and-so, and he was there. This is what he said. And that's a whole other side of it. So there's a lot of facets to magic conventions. You know, just being friends, hanging out, catching up on old times, telling jokes, working on moves. You know, hey, I'm working on this thing. What do you think? You know, leveling up, you know. So there's camaraderie. There's, you know, brainstorming. It's a whole thing. So yeah, they can be good, man. They can be a lot of fun.
Sounds like there would be like some freakish pub crawl, magic crawl, some sort of, I don't know, debauchery that would go on around 4 a.m. People break out the guns.
Yeah, it does. There's always there's a lot of degenerate magicians. So yeah, there's usually some kind of problem somewhere.
I like degenerates. They're good.
I do too. So I'm sorry that we keep not connecting. I got so much shit I want to talk to you about. I booked a really good gig today. But I gotta fucking go because I gotta make dinner and eat and be out of here in basically 30 minutes.
Rain.
Fucking. What is that? I can't see it.
You need
Looks like a badge.
Oh, no, it's not a badge. Get over here. It's a dog.
Oh, shit. Now I see. What does his little hat say?
Jiu-jitsu.
Oh, cool. He's got a little beanie on. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, dude, it looks like a badge from here. And I had to like shift my focus to make it look like a dog. That's funny. That's cool.
I put the camera on like, I don't know, 240p or something like that, just to avoid the delay or as much of a delay.
Interesting tricks that a noob could learn and do well. Oh yeah, Drew, if you ever want to learn something that like, well, first of all, it's in the fan club area. You should have access. If you don't, I'll just give you access. But I could show you things, Drew, that you could learn. I mean, everything to do it well takes practice. I don't care if it's 0 sleight of hand. If you're not presenting it, but you're an actor, you'll have no problem with it. I'll happily show you a few things you could do, Drew, at any time that aren't your common. Like usually when someone says, "Oh, I got a card trick," it usually sucks. But I could show you something where people are like, "What the fuck? That was actually good." So yeah, let me know, man.
Watch this. I can make my balls disappear.
Fischl, anything you want to say or before we go? I feel so bad that because you and I got to connect again and talk, and now you zoomed in and you've barely said 2 words, but we've gotten to look at you.
No.
Fun.
Look, I just wanted to jump in and bomb the place.
Look at that audio quality. Look at the video quality. This is what Juan needs right there.
Yeah, we should probably talk about that. I mean, he needs it so that he can kind of jump in and talk a bunch of shit and then go on some rant, and then jump on another tangent that jumps into a bush of complete madness. I enjoy that. I'm like cackling.
He's
got
with
some
you.
really good material.
You
got to record. You should need to record this. Okay, so look, you've got record settings on your capture, right? So you should record it. I can take the snippets of it.
I always record it.
Put them all together. I think that would be a little like a good segue.
I always record it. Every show's always been recorded.
I need to give you access to my G drive. So
did you hear him the other night when he talked about them collecting money for that woman's dead son?
Yes, that was the best. Holy shit. shit balls. That was unbelievable. I don't give a fuck.
And by the way, he doesn't have
material. Like they were. What was it? He talked about listening to an REM song. I mean, what is this? They're sitting around about this poor guy that died.
First of all, he doesn't even have material. That's just him talking. He's so. When he gets on it, he's the most naturally funny person, that I've ever known. He's so damn funny. But yeah, he said, I thought about it. I don't really like her. So no, I'm, not going to play an REM song. Everybody hurts. Wah, wah, wah. I forget exactly. I mean, we have it recorded.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's like they're all sitting around in a circle. Like they're listening to Everybody Hurts by REM.
Yeah.
That was the line.
And he said, if he goes, like what I think about her matters. Like I killed her kid because I don't like her. If that was true, then that would be an awesome superpower. And I'd be the world's greatest hitman. I could just think about you and kill you. That would be awesome. It was like, wow, he turned it into a superpower. Not only does he not give a fuck about this woman or her kid, he has actually turned this into a positive for himself. He's the best. That
is stage material. I mean, I don't know if he's doing any of that at all. If he's actually even considered it, but
he can't do it, dude.
Oh my God.
He's not capable of it.
Stage fright.
He he's too in his head. He can't. I bet he could do it.
I get it.
If he would do it every day, he could probably do it. Because at some point, let me tell you something real quick about him. When he comes to visit me, takes him a day or two to settle in. He's always a little uncomfortable. He doesn't admit it, but I've seen it. I've known him for over 20 years. And I say, hey, it's okay, man, relax, whatever you want to do. And I just try to let him settle in. And then when he is around people, at first, he's a little bit of a wallflower, believe it or not. But at some point, he gets comfortable, and then he becomes the funniest guy in the room. And then he gets confidence from it, and then he goes, not to me too far, but eventually he typically then loses the room by saying something insane. It's the greatest trajectory. I mean, it happens almost all the time. And, but not, he doesn't always blow it up, but most of the time he does. He just loves to blow shit up. He loves to build it up and blow it up. But, so I guess if he were to go on stage every day, which I don't think he's willing to do, I think I don't know. He's never had an honest discussion with me about it, but he has tried. I don't know. If he could get that on stage, if he could be on stage the way he is when it's just him and I, and what he was a couple nights ago with that collection thing. I mean, I think he would just crush.
You could sell him your ideas for $19.99 on video.
Well, he's always saying, he's like, hey, you could take it, you do it on stage. You think it's so funny. I'm like, but it's you, it's your voice. I don't want to do other people's material anyway. I do my own thing. But he's like, yeah. I'm like, I know you do it. I'm like, it's funny. I've told him, hey, that thing, make a note of that. And then put all these things I tell you that are funny, trust me, put them all in order and go and do them. Maybe I'll bug him about it again.
He doesn't like strike me as like the I'm going to write it down organized kind of guy.
Well, you know what's great though? I do have it recorded. So you know what? The next time I talk to him, I'm going to say to him, listen, I've got it recorded. Why don't we cut it out? We snip it out and review what you said.
Make a montage. I'd like to make a montage.
Well, I mean, he could have
that kind of markets his show.
Or he could have several different, I mean, it depends. Some of his quick moments you could montage, but what I would tell him is use it as your own point of reference. You don't have to say it exactly the same way again. You don't have to make it a script, but review what you said a few times and go on and do that with, because then he can, because look, that's what you do, right? When you're on stage, some of the best shit I come up with it on stage. Brian Regan's talked about that. Like, there's a difference between sitting down and writing versus being up on stage. And when you're on stage in front of a live audience, there's a pressure that exists that forces you to just be funny right away. you don't have that pressure when you're writing. So when you're recording all of your sets and you get into that zone and it crushes, you never remember that shit. Usually because you're kind of for me, I'm usually like in a flow state. And when the set's over, I'm like, I don't even know. I know I did well because I know how it felt, but I don't know what the fuck I just talked about for the last 20 minutes. So
you were genuine.
You record it and then you watch it and you go, I get it. I got the premise. I got the beats. All I need is the beats. And then I go up and I try it again. And I might say it differently, more concise, might exaggerate other things. But the point is, Juan, I'm going to remind Juan, I'm going to talk to Juan about it and say, we've got one for you. You've got one in the can that I can point to that's recorded. Is that bit, not bit, but that shit, turn it into a bit about that collection for that woman's dead son. And we snipped it out for you, use it as a reference, get the beats. And the next time you have a good one, I'm going to let you know and do it again and again and again. And when you have like 5 minutes, go to an open mic and just do the beats of the shit. By the way, that's what I'm doing for myself. And that's what Drew, real quick, this is one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. This is what this show, when I started it over 20 years ago on like fucking Ustream or whatever it was, the idea was something else before Ustream. What the fuck was that? Anyway, my idea was it was my open mic. I do a stream of consciousness thing. If people in the chat room LOL, I make a note of it. I would just write down that if someone typed in LOL, I would take out a pen and I would write down 36 minutes and 20 seconds. And I would do that throughout the hour or however long I ranted. Then I'd go back, look at those things, get the beats of it, and go, oh, that's a good premise. And then I would try it on stage. And if it worked, I kept it. If it didn't work, I dropped it. And I didn't even usually give it more than one shot. Sometimes I would, but for me, either shit works or it doesn't. That whole thing of like try it 3 times, fuck that. It either feels right and it just works or it doesn't. So I would have a whole bunch of those. I go on stage, and go, oh, that's working. Cool. And so I do that for myself. And this show, I've brought it full circle back to that. That's why there's no more watching the news or trending stories. It's just all this is now is basically an open mic for me. And if Juan will ever get on stage, it could be one for him too. But I'm going to tell him that. I'm going to tell him to fucking take note of that because it was, I thought it was stage worthy. I thought it was funny as shit.
This is the same problem I've got with my brother-in-law, Seth, and he's going to be in town tomorrow. So he's coming from Houston, and he goes on a rant. He does something very similar to Juan. And I mean, again, you'll see it, and he does it a lot. And these analogies that he draws, right? The whole circle sitting around, listening, all this crap he just pulls out of thin air. I have no earthly idea where he comes from. I do not have that sort of quick wit. I mean, he would be a perfect insult comic, but he won't do it. He's working in the food industry or something, right? And I'm like, fuck, Seth. I mean, really? I mean, this is what you want to do? You've got a talent that, I mean, people could not wait to see. They want you in their presence just so you can crack them up, because sooner or later, you're going to go on something and people are going to be on the floor, not able to breathe. Ambulances are going to have to arrive. Chaos will ensue. That's the kind of person he is. And I think Juan is probably that. I'm just getting from you that same vibe.
I've tried to get Juan to do it for over 20 years. I have seen him attempt it. He just, dude, what I've always told, if anybody's asked me for advice on comedy, which is usually magicians have asked me, I've said, the easiest thing in the world to do is to be yourself, but the hardest thing is to go on stage in front of a room full of strangers and believe that if you're just being yourself, that it's compelling and funny. But it truly is. It's a leap of faith. It's like doing a cartwheel, which I cannot do. But it's this leap of faith of just throw your hands over. It's all going to work out, you know. Yeah. But yeah, man, I would love to have you on more. You know what I'm going to do? I didn't already have the Zoom thing ready. To make it easy, Fischl, I forgot you'd already had the link, which was awesome. I'm just going to, from now on, always have the Zoom thing up and ready. And it'll just pop up, admit, you know, it'll say that you're trying to come in, and I'll just admit you. That way, it's just always going to be up. I'm just going to make that as a matter of course. When I start the cast, it'll just be there, and at any time you can click it. Same thing with you,
Someone
Drew.
told me it would help if I was actually on time.
Yeah, I was.
It helps.
Is that a goof on me being very late?
No, I'm talking about me. I was far later than you were. And just in my defense, it was because I had a new tool today. I have a Ryobi, or is it Ryobi, weed cutter.
Cool.
Oh yeah, man. Let me tell you, this thing has got power. It's got a lot of power.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was slinging dirt. I mean, across the goddamn road. I mean, it was going everywhere. I mean, shit. I was cutting down limbs with a piece of string. Okay, I mean, that's what this thing was doing. My son comes out. He wants to learn how to do this. Now he's 14, and he's really high on himself right now because you know he's a 9th grader and just made the varsity tennis team. Now he wants to play the top 5, and nothing's good enough for him. So he comes out there, and he's in shorts and no top. And and sun in these because multicolored sunglasses, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, are you trying to track that creepy guy across the street? Because I mean, I'm sure I don't know. He might want to talk to you. You know, we have to touch the dolly later. But
holy shit, I mean, that's funny.
Oh my God! But he comes out and he wants to learn how to run this thing. So he gets there and he's like, you know, I'm like trying to crank the thing, and I'm like, God damn it, Ian, just pull the thing, you know, and just turn the gas and roar it up and go and cut some weeds. And he's like trying to like gingerly, he's very OCD about this stuff. He just trying to gingerly cut a little line, you know, and edging really nice. You know, I was showing him how to do that. And he's like gingerly doing that. And I'm like, no, give me a goddamn thing. Just going down. And I'm like, give me some more, you know, just give me more gas, you know, and throw up the dirt, you know. And that was the day. So I'm coming in. I have like sandburrs and shit all over me. So I had to shower and come in. And then I got your message. And
that's okay.
And now.
Well, fucking.
I smell good now.
I
smell of heather.
I was late because I booked a gig, and so
that's a good late.
I had to send out a performance agreement, and yeah, it's a really good gig too. I'm excited about it.
Good for you.
And I got some other gigs this month. So yeah, this month is starting to. I had predicted by September. It looks like mid-August on is looking good for me. So I might actually be back to being an earner again. And
in California?
Yeah, just these gigs are in California. One of them's
you seen the curve?
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking it's crazy out here, man. If I have to, you know, well, hopefully I would love to book some gigs out of town just to get out of town more. But, I know what I was going to say. Drew Phillips said Fischl is cool. What I was going to say is you have no idea how cool. He was a Navy diver, one of those mixed gas helium guys that blow shit up 300 feet underwater. One of like...
EOD, that's what I did. I was in the Navy EOD, explosive ordnance disposal. I was a corpsman.
Elite. This is elite shit, Drew. He's going to downplay it because all heroes do that, all right? That's how they do. But I'm serious. I know about this shit. And so I want to talk to him. God, stop bragging. Got a good gig. Record skip. Yeah, dude, that was the first skip of the record in a year and a half, motherfucker. I was like, that. I hope it's a record skip. I hope you hear me every day. I booked a good gig. Yeah, I hope I start skipping that way. Shit. Anyway, all right. Fischl, have a good one, my brother. It'll always be available to you in the future just to hop in. I'm going to go make
Likewise in Mazel Tov.
I'm going to make a bison patty and go to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Go crush somebody. I can't wait to hear your next move.
Talk to you tomorrow, man. We'll chat.
Rock on.
Later. All right. So, Drew, we got to talk as well. If you guys would do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Go to ZachWaldman.com/fans to support the show. Of course, I know you're kidding. I love you, Drew. You have no idea how much I miss you. And we got all kinds of shit to talk about. It's been too long. And blah, diddy, blah, blah, diddy, blah. It's time for the best part of the show, the end of the show. I love you all more than chocolate cake. And here's the good Reverend Carl.
It's 2 a.m., 14 below, it's closed. My work is done, but I'm feeling low, and I wanna play the night away, the night away. I can't stand to be alone. I gotta bring over some people to fill up my empty home. Yes, I do. Yes, I do now. I'm having a party, having a party, having a party. I'm having a party. People and a party people, well, well, well. Put out the word to the chosen few. I got the SMC, my friends. Bring your choice of brews, your choice of brews. The buzz is on and the mood is set. The candles burn as the turntables turn by the TV set. Yes, they do. Yes, they do now. Smooth, while in the mirror he's busting moves till he finds his groove, till he finds his groove. A Johnny Poet is feeling numb. He's gonna drink until the sunlight comes out to play. He's always running away. Where are your shoes today now? Having a party, having a party, having a party, we having a party. He's been drinking them 21s like they're going out of style. weed your hair if you let him away with it. Let him away with it. Let him away with it. Away with it. Away with it now. Having a party. Having a party. Having a party. We having a party, people. And a party, people. And everybody's getting down now. Party people. Having a party. Having a party. We having a party, people. A party, people. Well. Reggie Love is dressed in plain. He'd like to bop the night away, cause he's come a long way from that Ventura County. Girly girl by the telephone. She's been waiting on a man to call so she can share her love.